And gents, then the other big clash, Wales, Australia. I see Wales haven't beaten Australia in the last 9 attempts. Michael Cheika rushed in, and off he goes to Europe. So yeah, not a lot of preparation time. Rob, how do you see that one going?
Yeah, interesting game. This one could just be the closest, actually, just because I think Australia, obviously in this kind of regroup, new coach, only benefit they've had so far is, of course, a barbars game, which is not ideal. It's a different sort of spirit of rugby, if you like. So in a test match environment, this is the first real look at the sort of Michael Cheika regime, if you like. I think what he'll do is certainly instill a sort of a stronger sort of forward ethic, perhaps into the Wallaby pack, try and get a sort of a harder edge out of their pack if he can, of course, because they don't have massive resources, as we know, in their tight five. It's one of the reasons why the Wallabies ended up third again in the Castle Rugby Championship this year. So Wales. Fickle side though, they can be pretty poor at times, Wales. But you know, when the passion is really up, when the crowd are sort of, when the choir gets going, and they get their noses in front, they can be tough to haul down. So this is probably the one that I'm struggling the most with, tipping wise. I never back draws, so I'm not going to this time. But let's say Australia, perhaps we're talking a Southern Hemisphere clean sweep. I'm a little bit inclined to go Australia. I'm not sure if Garen agrees, but let's go Australia by sort of perhaps 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Rob. This is definitely going to be the closest match. Difficult to pick. I think the only thing swaying it in Australia's favour is that they had that Barbarians game against a pretty strong Barbarians lineup. There were 10 All Blacks in, or 10 New Zealanders in there, a couple of South Africans as well, came off the bench. And they played some good rugby at times. Their sort of defence sort of was not an option at times for both teams. But I think the Wallabies will have just too much. Again, also less than 5 points for sure. I think Michael Cheika is a really good coach. I think he'll long-term be a good solution for the Wallabies. As Rob says, I think he'll show up that forward pack that's been traditionally fairly weak, especially at scrum time. They've made some interesting selections again. The whole Kurtley Beale thing is now sort of on the back burner. He's not there at the moment.
But you got Guinea Cooper on the bench.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, and Guinea played. He's also been out injured for quite a while. He played in the bars game, and he showed glimpses of his form. I think on form he's one of the better scrum halves in the world. And it's also going to be a ding-dong battle. I wouldn't be surprised if Wales led at half-time, and then Wallabies came back in the dying seconds to hopefully, from a Southern Hemisphere point of view, keep the clean sweep alive.